Hello everyone, this is E with another update of the Hogwarts MOC. As you can see, there aren't all that many things that have changed since the last time. However, I really wanted to show you the view of the Grey Hall and the interior work that I have been doing since last time. Mainly I have modified the tables and added the benches. I have raised the level of the tables by one tile because I wanted the benches to actually look like benches, and the tables to be adequate to what I ended up doing. So I think it looks pretty good now. As you can see, I have started placing tiles, including this whole section here near the wall. I think it looks pretty nice. I've also placed all the minifigs that I have. As mentioned before, I have placed 9 seats, including Dumbledore's. So there are 8 seats for other teachers. And as you can see, I have placed 6 of them, since I don't have a Professor Sprout and a Professor Flitwick currently. But they're coming soon, and I will add them. I have placed Professor Lupin as the defense against the dark arts teacher for the time being. I've decided not really to limit myself to representing any particular book or scene right now. I just think that it's, I don't know, just kind of tickles me the right way if it's him sitting at the table, as I don't really care much for Umbridge or Quirrell or Lockhart particularly. Now, one thing that I want to focus on is that this is this is representing the hourglasses of the houses, and at least in the movies, it's positioned exactly here on the far right corner end of the room. Now, I spent quite a lot of time trying to figure this out. I tried different variations, different styles. I actually had one made that was bigger than this one. It had also the railings in between each of the 4 hourglasses, but that made the whole model kind of wide and too big for this scale of the Grey Hall. Although it did look arguably a little bit better than this, if I had stayed with it, it would have continued all the way here, and I really didn't want this section here to be covered or something to be visible from the outside. And it just didn't sit right with me, and I ended up making it kind of thinner, and I think it looks pretty good this way. Use some Technic stuff to represent the mechanism that's on the left. Might end up improving it somehow, like for example this blue piece in the middle. Might put a gray one there or a black one, something like that. But end of the day, I think it's a pretty good design. It looks good from afar, and also it is kind of sturdy. It's not gonna fall apart if you touch it or move the building, which is kind of an important thing in my book. Now, this other thing, I kind of came up with it as I was basically remodeling this whole place here, because the wings that open needed to be remodeled for this to fit. And in this here, I decided to place the sorting hat here. Pretty simple, but I think it's good. Obviously, before we had the banners of 2 of the houses, and now I didn't just want to have one of the houses on this side, so I was thinking what I could put there, and yeah, I think it's a good place for the sorting hat and the overall Hogwarts logo. Now, obviously, this is not tiled all the way, as I'm missing some of the pieces, but I have ordered them and they're coming. One other thing is I've placed the Hogwarts logo here on the fireplace, and I think it's accurate to the movies as well. Just a little thing. One other thing that I wanted to show you and mention is this door over here behind Hagrid. Now, I've really been on the fence about this door because it leads to nowhere. Architecturally speaking, it's impossible for there to be a room. If you look at any picture or photo or whatever of the Harry Potter Grey Hall from any of the movies. At the same time, for example, in the Goblet of Fire, they go into this room that supposedly this door leads to after Harry's name is being picked out of the Goblet of Fire. And yeah, that whole meme of Dumbledore said calmly, etc. And yeah, it just befuddles me how a series of movies that made so much money, they couldn't hire an architect who could, or just anybody who could work with Rowling for about a month and figure out where everything in Hogwarts is. But I'm pretty sure Rowling herself doesn't really know. Perhaps if she spent a little bit less time thinking about the color of the skin of her characters and what she should change next and what sexuality Hagrid has or whatever, we would be better off. But I digress. You don't want to listen to my ranting in this video. Anyway, I decided to put the door. Obviously, if you open it, it leads to nowhere, and I think that's kind of fitting. It's just a little interior piece that I thought might as well be there. Now, another thing I want to talk about is this side here, this wall. Now, I'm going to show you from this side. Now, the reason I've not really done it yet, and it just seems like a like a open hole has nothing in it, because I can't really decide whether I should put windows like this and keep the pattern going. Because if I put windows, then some of them will be covered by this building, and more importantly, this building's roof. And I can't really decide, should I place windows that will not be seen and kind of logically from the inside you will have people looking through windows that are staring at a brick wall in a way, and that kind of annoys me. Then at the same time, if when the castle is being disassembled, it will look better. So yeah, should we have windows or should we have just a wall like here, something like that? Haven't made up my mind yet. And next is the towers here. Now I have already figured out how to do them, and I will be building basically all the way here with a few little changes and tweaks, because obviously here the pattern will have to change. But I will speak about that at a later time. I am still waiting for the doors that will be the inside doors, not the main gates. I have placed these just to keep in mind how they're gonna be. The gates are gonna be taller. There will be gonna be another pair of these doors on top. And over here, the gates that I actually decided to use are some pretty old models that I had really big trouble finding. And now I see that the hinges that they rest on are kind of old too, and I have trouble finding them, especially in the tan color. So I'm not really sure when I'll be able to build that, which really annoys me, because I just want to seal this place off and start building some of the interior here that is going to be between the main gates and the doors of the Grey Hall. But yeah, have to be patient. I have also tweaked the fireplace a little bit. I have removed some of the pieces because I have ordered these transparent orange pieces. It's going to be a little more rich, which is probably not going to matter. But yeah, I will know it's there. So I think it's going to be looking pretty well when I do place those pieces there. Now it's a jumble inside. It's not really that pleasing. What else? Over here, I'm thinking about placing some torches or maybe removing these pieces altogether. Haven't really decided, but these are minor tweaks that kind of I try not to force or try to stress on. It just kind of comes to me, and when it does, I'm usually pretty satisfied with the idea that comes up to me. When I just start to think about something and It really makes my head hurt, and often I end up making a bad decision. I've added these plates here that basically cover everything down there, and I've actually had an idea to place a few secrets underneath, like well, where did I put it? Yeah, there we go. Like this little guy here. Yeah, look at him. I managed to find this quite randomly from a store I was ordering from. Looks pretty nice, doesn't it? Anyway, so these towers, next time I will probably be showing you how I've done them and how it looks. Hopefully the design will not change, because usually when I try something and I figure something out, often when I start building it, turns out that it doesn't really work, or it doesn't look as good as I have initially thought. So hopefully it will be fine. And that's pretty much it. I have done some little updates here on the front trays, but nothing too significant, so no point in showing it. Obviously the roof here is not done yet again, which is now, it's a really long time, really pisses me off, but those pieces that I'm planning to use are really not easy to come by for the time being, and they're kind of expensive too. So again, when you think about it, a roof is not all that important, but yeah, we'll get to it. Anyway, I think it's looking pretty tidy for the time being. I'm actually thinking of ways to place some gargoyles here. I know there is a minifig of a gargoyle. Might end up using it. We'll see. We'll see. Again, if you have some ideas, comments, critiques, whatever you want, tell me how terrible a builder I am and that I'm wasting my time or whatever. Feel free to share. If not, a simple subscribe and like would suffice, or just an opinion. Again, thank you, and I will see you next time. Bye.